So I think it was about last week I had done a video based on the little girl that was missing. And I can say it's been a very interesting kind of ride psychically. I did mention inside this video that this child is very psychic. And I did have a lot of shifts and turns with this situation. Now, the way my gift tends to work is telepathically, especially because children tend to have less ego. The ones that are born in the younger generation actually came up in the members hub today. We were talking about the first wave, the second wave, the third wave as awakenings and things like that. And I did mention that the younger generation is very, very intuitive, especially with all the astrology. This, especially empaths. Empaths and quiet children are very, what would the word be? They're very intuitive, naturally. So by about the second day, I had some very interesting psychic downloads, and I was like trying to decipher. I've been psychic pretty much since I was a child, and I had to learn to live with the gift. It wasn't, some people in society, they're like, oh, taboo, but we all naturally have this. Some have a third eye that's really opened. Other people have situations that, they think they're seeing spooks and things like that. So regardless, I had to work with it. So my experience as a child was very much like the movie The Sixth Sense. So, you're going up to your mum and you're saying, I'm having these experiences. And I had to really deal with it from a young age. The one thing I can say is those of you that do have it, theoretically deemed as a gift, you have to learn to control it and you have to learn how to protect it, right? So I've spent years and years and years, and I met some really wonderful people on my journey to help me develop it. But so what I can say is it continues to change and evolve, and deciphering information is very cryptic. So the less ego you have, the better. Now, if you go back and listen to that video and keep an eye on the case and see how it's going, it was very interesting because some of the things that did come up in that, and I did get more downloads, but I really stood back from it for a few days. And I literally contacted a lot of very famous mediums to really kind of decipher the situation, not that I could get a hold of them. And I ended up talking to a lovely friend of mine who was equally psychic, and I shared my experience. Now, what I did notice is in channeling her energy, like I mentioned before, you do tend to take on the person's demeanor. So taking on that person's demeanor, sometimes when a person is shocked, they can get to a space where, again, and she's really psychic, so their demeanor can come through very choppy. The other thing was she was extremely determined and pretty much saying that she was not going to rest. Like, it was almost like she was psychically tapping in and she was coming home. And I really did feel, and I mentioned something to do with the astrology. I mentioned we had Aries and Chiron. It was actually Aries and Pisces I was meaning. Now, Aries and Pisces is very psychic. It's very intuitive. It was a tough time at the time. And that was roughly the time that she was actually directly born. So yes, she is very psychic in nature. The other thing I was getting was, how do I explain it? Tapping into the realm of an energy, whatever has occurred, you're tuning into that vibration. And again, it's not it's not a vibration. If you're psychic and you walk into a room, if you've ever understood, especially for those of you that are, you walk into the room and the energy of people that are psychic will directly kind of recognize each other, so to speak. So what was shown was confusion, the mind coping, but also determination that was going to be resolved. Now, some of the things I saw which have happened very close by, correct? Again, upon listening to that video again, I am sensing that the cars I was seeing can and may be related to the finding of that person. And they may be in a channeling. Again, this is what happens with channeling. It's not for us to understand. It's for us, in a sense, that when we're getting a download, we don't question it. And we just give the information. So I kept saying black. I kept saying black. I kept saying black rock, black. Again, it can be, like I mentioned in the video, a metaphor, a location. I felt it was very close. I do feel there's more to come. My empathy and love to the family, because this is merely the beginning. Do you know what I mean? Any questions? Very odd situation. But the funny thing was, filtering that information, it was almost like the mind was at a blank. And I do feel psychologically it was to cope. So when you're channeling situations like that, it can be extremely difficult. I did see her the other day psychically, and I could see sand. So again, that was confirming to me that it was very close, and it did feel close by, because there's texture of sand, especially here in Australia. So in remote locations, that sand can be quite light. But I saw the grass sort of coming out that was very ocean-like. It's quite close to the ocean. I was seeing that as well. And I did have a chat to, like I said, a girlfriend, and I gave her my downloads. But I didn't want to distort the situation, especially because, there's those of us that have been doing this for a very long time, and we understand it's permission based. I do know this person connected in with me quite a bit, and from my experience, very similar to the how do you put it, to the Sixth Sense movie. If any of you have watched that, it's almost like this child directly gets haunted all the time. So that when there is, if you're a visual and you see things, what you'll find is they won't leave you alone till you send the message. And understand the download. So that it can be quite forceful. So that's a lot of times when I'm channeling and I'm asking you guys, you're asking me a question and I get my download. Sometimes it's almost like the monkey mind of the person blocking that situation, but all of us collectively have it. It's just really learning about how to use it. How are you all doing? Hi, T Garnet. I can smell someone doing a barbecue. So again, the house I could have been channeling actually could have been the person in question. But no, I don't know. Yeah, we'll see. I swear there's more information to come. Very, very interesting. More information to come. I did say that in the video. Go back and have a listen. I will be adding different content onto this channel. Look, in the early days when I started on here, the whole intention was I started a Facebook channel, and it was pretty much I was doing free reads to develop the gift further. Like I said, I have had it for a long time. I have given readings to millions of people, and that was before even getting onto YouTube. And yes, 90% of the time, the best way to do it is to, how do I put it? Your guides, usually it's channeling through your guides and your loved ones. It's relaxing into the situation, but it's also accepting what the information is for you. Hi. Yes, well, I did do a previous video, which was my psychic downloads of her, and it is on the channel here. So I gave my visuals of what I saw. I didn't feel she was far away. She was kind of haunting me for, that time. So I'm very cautious about the type of content I do. I'm very cautious about it. But this, collectively, I feel the heart that was being given out to, this little girl, thank goodness, she's home. So, how many of you have actually seen the video? I had to go back and listen to it. That's the thing when you have downloads. You're like, I don't remember what I said. I just said what was coming to me. So I did mention the colour of the castle we're yet to see, but I do feel also it can directly be related to the collection. Still saying that colour car though. You saw the original, yeah. So this is the part 2. I should put part 2. Well, it was freaky for me to rewatch, to be perfectly honest. When I give you my psychic downloads, you come back to me, you're like, YILDIZ, and I'm like, I don't know, we're back to a fresh start. So I tune into the energy of where it stands. I can actually go backwards in time. I can locate things if your guides want you to find it. I can't find, I used to have a girlfriend, I'll just be honest with you. She'd misplace, I'll just call it in layman's terms, durries, you know, for those of us in Australia that know what that lingo is. And she'd be like, Yildiz, where is it? And I'd be like, really? It's a trivial item. And I'd never be able to find it. But if it's a message that your guides want you to know, yeah, 100%. I've had experiences where I've met people, and I remember my family members coming to me going, oh, you know, my sister's psychic, and they'll bring their friends, and still to this day, they're like, they fear it, but they are intrigued by it. The less ego you have, the better. Where your marbles are, please. They're in your head, doll. You just don't like them right now. It has been psychologically, even if you were just to look at the astrology, it has been a horrendous 3 months. It's been very heavy in astrology. It was really maleficent energy at that time. And the funny thing is, my birthday is on the 15th of October. And from the 15th to the 16th, it was very yucky astrology. The luck in the situation was Mercury being retrograde brings missing information towards you. And Scorpio can connect to a culture. So that could have been a key. That could have been a link. Yeah, also with culture. Right. So it does give a link. I'll have to do some videos on it so you can actually understand. And the beauty is, in this day and age, we should be open-minded to different things. I know that industry that was searching for the person does have their own. That's why it didn't, like, the information was the information, but also they hire their own professionals in the industry. So it's nothing that isn't not real. It is, but it can come through cryptic. So this was a very unique situation for me, because the vibration of that human being was almost, which is totally understandable, to the point not showing me whether they were here or not. I didn't feel not, but I did feel, you know, overwhelmed. I did use the spirit box the other day, which I kept the recording, and the message that was coming through very strongly was the mind was with family. The mind was with family. Yes. Potentially even that this person may have actually been locked up before, but I'm not necessarily, we'll see. Yeah. What else did they mention? They mentioned music. But anyway, there is more information to come, I'm telling you. And my absolute love to the family. I didn't have a bad feeling. But the soul was extremely determined. And the only reason I could directly channel her that way is because she is extremely psychic. So I wouldn't be, the other thing I did get, which to confirm that, you know, I could get a girlfriend of mine to come on. I don't know. I'm going to leave that there. I'm not going to say what I saw. Anyway. Yeah, not necessary. Not necessary. It has been an awful 3 months. So, is there any extra content you guys would like on this channel similar? Would you like me to show you how to use your third eye to train your psychic gifts? Do you want me to do readings based on certain celebrities? What would you like? What would you like on this channel? Because I am adding, obviously, and on Galaxy Pub channel, I'm going to be adding content. I just really want to be doing content that people are going to watch. Not that I did this for that. That was absolutely not the reason. With my gift, if an energy is coming in, they won't leave me alone. So I really have to sit with that for a bit and then go, okay, this has to be addressed. Let me do it in the most appropriate way, you know, so that the information can be released. And then to trust the universe. And that's what I've always done. I've always just really released and let go to actually allow nature to take its course, so to speak. But yes, the soul was extremely determined. Extremely determined. I do feel at a point she might have got out, because I was seeing walking down the street. I think there might have been a point where she did actually get out. Yes. Yes. I don't know why I keep drawing a triangle. I'm drawing a triangle. Don't question the download. Triangle. Anyway, I'm just going to leave it at that. But yes, I'll put a learning how to control it. It's all part of the awakening. But yes, definitely. I'm going to do information content. But the thing is, like at the moment, I'm doing zodiac signs. I'm doing, you know, different bits and pieces. So I will be changing it, but I am going to be doing more psychic updates. And look, I did used to come live maybe once a month. And anyone who jumped in the house, it was if they had a person that they wanted me to connect in with. It was if they were dealing with a circumstance or a loved one that had passed over. I am connected both in the 3D and the 5D, so I can actually do that if you need me to. And it's if they want, you know, sometimes when it's too fresh, they won't, because they need you to focus on the process and get anchored in. Your aura does tend to get affected. I had a lovely friend most recently that did lose a loved one, and she connected with me pretty much on the day of it, and I said, Dale, you need to get grounded. Because when we're channeling, if your aura is too low, it's not healthy to do such. You have to know when to do that. So the person needs to sit with it and absorb and be. And then when they're ready, then we can do that, because it can affect their aura. I don't know what I said, Giggle, but cool. Anywho, I'm not going to add anything extra to this. I'm just going to connect after I edit. I'll add the video I did. Feel free to comment. I'm really happy for the family. I'm really, really happy for the family. I'm happy for her. That's who I'm happy for. And I wish her a speedy recovery with lots of love, for her to have that process moving forward. She's strong. She's a strong girl. Okay. Bye, guys.